Hi, brother. How you doing? Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining my live video. Hi, bro. How you doing? How have you been? Great. Nice to see you. Yeah. Who's up for some free therapy session this evening? Let's talk. Let's do from free therapy session. Hi everyone, thank you. If you can see me, please tell me where you're watching from. I'd like to know where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from. How's your week been? I know Lagos has been dealing with people, man. Traffic is crazy, the fuel, man. Today I was driving somewhere. I had to turn back. Traffic was mad. It was crazy. I just ditched it. So, how's your week? How was your week? And then if you're not in Nigeria, your time difference, so your day is still ongoing. How's your day going? How's your week? What's your plan for the weekend? So, who's up for some free therapy session? You know how we do it here? Free therapy session. Who wants to have a free therapy session today, this evening? So how we do it is you're going to give me your issue and I'm going to talk about it. So, who's up? Tell me. If you're up, do you want to join me live? You want to come live? Or you want to ask a question, in the question segment, or you just want to comment in the comment section. Free therapy session. Who's up this evening? You want to have free therapy. Who's up for some free therapy session? If you're up, let me know. Send me an invite if you want to come on live with me, and tell me what's up, what's going on. What would you want a session for? What's popping, what's happening? Or you want to comment in the comment section. Yeah. Zainab, how you doing? I'm still waiting for you. Who is up now? It's like nobody's up this evening. Let me just start talking. Let me start teaching. Who wants to join me on live for a free therapy session? You want to talk about your issues, and I'll just ask you some questions and see what I can do for you. I should talk about a prenup. This is the second time you're asking that question. I don't believe in prenup. Zainab, I don't believe in prenup. I think I've answered you before. I think that's my own opinion though. I feel like you already know the marriage is going to break up. So you want to you're already prepared for breakup. And that's not a healthy way. In Nigeria, it's not smart. Zainab, you can join the group healing school. It's cheaper. It's half of the price that you were supposed to pay. So the July healing school is starting from July 3rd to 27th. To August 27th is 8 weeks. An early bird discount of 190,000 naira is ending on June 14th. So that's quite cheaper than, the private sessions. So, as I was saying, I don't believe in prenup. I believe that a marriage should be forever. What will make you divorce should be something, irredeemable, irreparable. So, signing a prenup, Zainab, before the wedding, to me, suggests that you're already ready for the breakup. It's like you're already going to the altar thinking, this is 50-50. This may work or may not work. So if you feel that rocks your boat, maybe you can go ahead and do it. But me, I wouldn't tell anyone to sign a prenup before they get married. For me, it doesn't make sense. You're not ready for marriage. Don't marry. Why do you want to marry? It's not everybody that should marry. I'm telling you, it's not everybody that should marry. If you know you're not ready for the stress, because marriage brings a lot of stress. In as much as marriage is beautiful, marriage can be happy, but at the same time, marriage means you have to work. You have to compromise. You have to it's a lot of work. So if you know that you're not ready for it, don't go into it. So why do you want to sign a prenup? Possibly you're gonna come out of marriage with children. It's gonna damage them. Divorce is trauma. I've been divorced before, so I'll tell you the truth. Divorce is not pretty. Divorce is traumatic. If you've been through a divorce, you need to go through therapy so that you can heal, or else you'll be scarred forever. You would have trust issues, you would have a lot of issues. And if you have kids from the divorce, you're going to also scar them. So I don't believe in prenup, Zainab. I don't believe in it. I believe that you shouldn't get married. If you are thinking of signing a prenup, I think you shouldn't bother getting married. Why don't you have, what do you guys call it now? Partnership, long-term relationship. Why do you have to solidify it if you know that someday you may still pull out of it? Why? So what's stopping? Like, why? Why can't you just be partners for as long as you guys are willing? So that's my own opinion about prenup. So any other question, anybody, you want to come on live with me, to talk about your issues, then I'm going to be doing free therapy session for you. So who is up for that? Or you can ask me questions in the comment section or in the question button. Ask me a question and I'll answer you. If you want me to use your case as for free therapy session, give me all the details. Then I'm going to be asking you some questions and we're going to dig into it. You're welcome. So hi PG, good evening sir, how you doing? So who is up? If you're up, send me a live video request and I will bring you up. But if not, while we're waiting for people who have questions or they want a free therapy session, let me just tell you, if you have been thinking, my life, the way my life is going, should I get a therapist? Should I get therapy? I think you should. If you're already thinking along that line, you should. If you're in a tumultuous relationship or tumultuous marriage, you should get couples therapy. Good evening, Linda James. How you doing? If you realize that you have some patterns that you have been observing in your life, some things that you have been going through and they're not changing, you need a therapy session. You need to sign up for therapy. And then if you've been through a relationship that ended badly, sign up for therapy. If you think that, if you've noticed that you grew up from a dysfunctional family, you have trauma as a child, your family, sign up for therapy. If you notice some things in your life that are not going well, they're not going properly, please do sign up for therapy. So that's what I would say to you. And also, the healing school, the group session, is happening from July 3rd to August 27th. July 3rd to August 27th. The healing school is 8 weeks. It's an 8 weeks virtual therapy session. And it involves 8 video teachings, 8 recorded video teachings, and 8 group sessions with me every Sunday. The group sessions happens on Sundays, 7 p.m. West African time. Every Sunday for 8 weeks. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. West African time. We have our group session for 8 solid weeks. And then every Monday we send you the videos, the recorded videos, the recorded video teachings. It's 8 modules. So every Monday you get a new module. And on Saturdays you're required to send your assignments by 2 p.m. latest West African time. And then on Sunday, 7 p.m. we have a group therapy session. So guys, it's like nobody's willing to do my free therapy tonight. So do you have any question? Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any question as regards your relationship, as regards your marriage, as regards your life, as regards, anything that's got to do with your life? Please hit me in the comment section. And while I'm waiting for questions, I want to tell people have been asking me, how do you build your self-confidence? A lot of people, I watched a video today on Chude's page. He interviewed a radio presenter, Moa Baby, and she was talking about how she was in a violent relationship. It was abusive. It was in an abusive relationship. She was engaged in that relationship, and it lasted for 2.5 years. And Chude was asking her that why that he doesn't see her as somebody who can be in a violent relationship, because she looks outspoken, she looks, very well ready to defend herself and stuff. And she was like, yeah, she was in an abusive, a violent relationship was what she used, the word she used. She said, I was in a violent relationship for 2.5 years. And Chude asked her, what is the root of you, being in an abusive relationship and staying for that long? And she said, the root is low self-esteem. And I like how Chude asks questions. Now Chude goes deeper. He's like, I've always told him that, Chude, come and be a therapist. He said, Lila, you can never ever be a therapist. But he asks questions like a therapist. So Chude goes further to ask her that, where do you think you got your low self-esteem from? And she said, because she grew up with a single mom. And at this point, she started to cry. She said she grew up with a single mom. She doesn't have her father, in her life like that, so that makes her feel defenseless. She wants to fight, protect herself. She's always fighting all the time, so which is why she would also attract that kind of relationship. And, and she said something which Chude too corroborated. And I've always said it here. Abusers can smell your low self-esteem. Abusers can smell your low self-esteem, and they're going to take advantage of it. How do you know that you have low self-esteem? When people walk all over you and you make excuses for them. This is not right. somebody hits you, it is not right, but you make excuse. He's not happy at that time, I provoked him, or he couldn't get a job, or she didn't get a job, or she's unhappy, she has her hormones, or she's she has her anger tantrums once in a while when she's on her period. It's rubbish. So when people walk all over you and you are making excuses for them, you have low self-esteem. And it doesn't have to be relationship alone. It could be your parents, your siblings, your friends, your colleagues, your employers, your employees, outside that, strangers. When people do you wrong consistently, they walk all over you consistently, but you make excuses for them, you have low self-esteem. You cannot stand up for yourself, or even though you stand up for yourself a lot of times, but you are still in a situation where they keep walking all over you, they keep hurting you, then you have low self-esteem. So it's not a matter of, am I vocal enough? Am I, spare? Am I fine? Am I this person that doesn't take rubbish? That I've realized that a lot of people, they don't take rubbish from outsiders, but their spouse treats them like trash. You have low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem. Because, when I was watching that interview this morning of Moe Abebe and Chude, with Chude, she said that, because Chude asked her, how did you leave that abusive relationship that you were in? And she said she had to come to a point of realization to tell herself, Mo, this is not you. Mo, there's no way you will love yourself and still be in this situation. There's no way. So anytime you see that people are consistently walking all over you, and you make excuses for them, you tolerate them, you make excuses, you say, you have low self-esteem. Because you don't love yourself enough. You choose other people over you. It means you lack self-love. You lack self-love. And I keep saying it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be your siblings. It could be your children. It could be your parents. It could be your friends. It could be your colleagues. It could be your neighbors. When people continue to walk all over you, but you make excuses for them, you tolerate it, you accommodate it, you think that you're a kind person, you're empathetic, you're a very nice person. No, you're not. No, you're not. You have low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem. You have low self-worth. You lack self-love. You don't love yourself enough. That's what's happening to you. So, please, if this is you, sign up for the healing school. Sign up. You know that this situation doesn't make sense. You know it. You know it's your conscience is telling you. Your mind is telling you. Your inner voice is telling you. But you're just like, whoa, Lara. This is my wife. He's my husband. Sometimes you just, no, it's not true. You lack self-confidence. You lack low self-esteem. When you're supposed to pitch your point, you're supposed to, there's an opportunity for you to present yourself or take a stand, but you cannot. You allow other people. You lack self-confidence. You lack self-esteem. You lack self-love. And where do people get it? From different places. A lot of times from childhood. Look at what that lady said. She said that because she grew up with a single mom, she felt less of herself. It happens all the time. That's why I always say it. If you grew up with a single parent, there's that tendency to to feel like you're not enough, no matter what. And it's not a matter of what they tell you, no matter of what. It's not about words. People think that no, when you shower your children with words of affirmation, you tell them, look at me, you can do it, you can. It's not just by that. It's by when they go to school, and the other children talk about their dads, and they have no dad to talk about. Or the other children talk about their moms, and they don't have any mom to talk about. It's not, I've always said it, God did not design that one person should raise a child. That's why I always tell parents, even if you divorce, even if you separate, you can still co-parent your child. You can co-parent your children effectively. If you're having issues co-parenting your children with your ex or your spouse, please go to my website, www.larakudaisi.international, or just click the link in bio. I have a course for you. You buy it. It's there on the website. It's called Effective Co-Parenting. People ask me, or tell me, Lara, my ex is toxic. He's this. She's toxic. She's this. How do I deal? I don't even want to see him. I don't want to see him around the children. I don't want to see her around the children. I don't want. There's a way to co-parent effectively. There's a way to deal with toxic people. You don't engage. If you engage with toxic people, you become toxic yourself. You yourself will be, before you know it, both of you will be toxic to each other. So you don't engage at all when you're dealing with toxic people. So you could gain low self-confidence or low self-esteem from growing up from a single parent home, or for not being totally loved as a child. If you were abandoned emotionally as a child, you were neglected emotionally, it's possible for you to grow up with low self-esteem. If you were shut down a lot, you have to be shut down. You cannot talk, you cannot say anything, nobody wants to hear your opinion. They shut you down all the time. You're going to grow up with low self-esteem. If you were sexually abused, that comes with low self-esteem. You're going to feel dirty. You're going to feel not enough. You're going to feel like somebody took something away from you, which makes you inadequate, incomplete, like other people. So there are so many places that you can get low self-esteem from. So many places, so many situations can give you low self-esteem. So many situations, which is so maybe sometimes you could also get low self-esteem from your significant emotional experiences. I said maybe your sexual abuse, maybe you were physically abused a lot as a child, maybe you are still going through abuse in your relationship right now, in your marriage. You're going to have low self-esteem. Maybe somebody calls you a goat all the time. Somebody talks to you like you're dumb, you don't know anything, you cannot amount to anything, you're a failure, nothing good can ever come out of you. That is going to rob you of your self-esteem. It's going to rob you of your self-esteem. My own low self-esteem started when I had a child at 19. So that made me feel like I was lesser than other girls because they don't have kids that age. So it made me feel like I was incomplete. I am now after one. So this affected me and made me have 14 relationships, 14 heartbreaks rather, and 15 abortions. Because only somebody with low self-esteem will have 15 abortions. Because normally you should have stopped at a time. At a point you should have stopped. You should have started telling the men, start using protection. But I felt like all the men I was around or I was meeting, I felt they were doing me a favor. You get, this girl that's already has a child, dating guys that don't have kids. So whatever they said, I did. Even after having abortion, the next time they want to have unprotected sex with me, I will still say yes because I was so afraid to lose them. Low self-esteem. felt they were doing me a favor. I felt they were magnanimous enough to choose me. So which was what made me also marry my ex-husband. Same thing. Low self-esteem. I felt like I couldn't get better. I didn't deserve more. You get what I mean? So you can get low self-esteem from different places, but you can heal it. You can heal it. You can change it. You can change your life. You can start having value. Yesterday I did a session with a couple they were ending their marriage. Oh God, it's one of the most painful sessions for me. I like to help people rekindle their marriage, but this couple were bent on breaking up. They were married and they were bent on breaking up. And so also, and of course, even if you're breaking up, you still need therapy to navigate the divorce, So both of them, I brought them together yesterday. And I was telling them, both of them, that though you have come to the end of the road, you say you don't want to, be in this marriage anymore. This is not the end of your life. Same thing. I was telling the lady, I said, look at me too. I made a lot of mistakes in my first marriage. I made a lot of mistakes. I would not even come and start saying I was a saint. Never. I made a lot of mistakes in my first marriage. And it broke up. I left. I worked on myself. I literally became like a new person. And my life has changed. I'm happy now. So I was telling them yesterday that even though you have decided to go your separate ways to start again, you can be happy again. Don't think that it is the end. It's okay to mourn. If you lose a marriage, you should mourn it. If you lose a relationship, you should mourn it. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. Something died. Yes, your marriage died. Don't go and say, hey, let's hit the club. Oh yeah, good riddance to bad rubbish. Don't do that. You have just postponing the evil day. Don't listen to your friends that, why are you crying over him? I beg you, it's his loss. Let's hit. Don't mind them. You are postponing your pain. If you don't grieve your pain, you need to grieve the loss of your marriage. If you've lost a marriage, you need to grieve the loss of your relationship. If you lost a relationship, you need to. It's part of healing. In fact, in the healing school, that's part of the model. So one of the 9 steps to healing, grieving is part of it. Because a lot of people don't grieve, so they suppress their pain, and then it shows up in an unexpected way, and they can't do anything about it. So when you lose a thing, you grieve it. When somebody around you dies that you love, sit down and cry. Don't come and say, no, I stood up, I cannot give in to tears. You will still crash someday. Very soon, you will crash. Very well. Some people sink so bad into depression, or some people into the, anger fits. Because they are suppressing their pain. They're repressing it. Stop. Don't be part of the people that repress their pain. Don't do that. Don't do that. If somebody has hurt you, tell yourself, acknowledge it, cry, mourn. Be by yourself for a while. Reflect. Take lessons from it. Heal from it. And then get up and move on. That is why a lot of people they broke a relationship, a marriage, but they didn't mourn it. They didn't grieve it. They just moved on to another relationship. Before you know it, by the time you're on your 15th relationship, one day you will sit down and crash. I don't want to be that person. It happened to me, a lot of times. I won't grieve. I'll just move on from one relationship to the other. I beg, if this one no do, another one go do, I beg. They don't write your name for my this thing when they born me. It's rubbish. You are deceiving yourself. when you lose especially a marriage, mourn it, grieve it, cry, stay in a place and mourn. If you've lost somebody died, don't say, I'm a strong person. They're not going to give you a word that you lost, your partner died, your mother died, your sibling died, but you're still, I'm being strong for the family. Oh my God. It's going to show up in your life. It shows up in different places. For some people, they just start getting angry. They start having uncontrollable fits of anger. For some people, they want something small will happen, and then they just burst into tears and they start crying uncontrollably. For some people, they sink into illnesses. I'm telling you, you become vulnerable for illnesses. Because emotional pain causes you to have physical pain and physical diseases. There's a link between emotional pain and diseases. So, all this, you are strong, you're a strong woman, look at what you are carrying, look at what you are doing. No man, my dear, they are deceiving you. You're not strong. Acknowledge that you're not strong. Cry when you have to. Stop saying, I don't cry. I can't cry over a man. For what? I can't cry over a woman. Day is coming that you will cry very well. You are postponing your evil day. And it is not faith. You are not using faith. I remember somebody who told me that. She said, I think her husband died. And she was just like, no, she has to be strong for the children. She has to be strong. She said she didn't even have time to mourn. She went back to work, started raising the children, working hard so that they won't have to suffer. They won't have to need anything, Until one day she told me that she was at work and she didn't even know when she started. She didn't even know. She said she just sat down like this. And tears was just dropping. And it was work. And then somebody came to ask, are you okay? What's going on with you? He said, that, are you okay? She just started. Like, she said she could, like, people were begging her to stop, but she couldn't stop. That is what happens when you suppress or repress your pain. When you don't grieve. For some people, it's fits of anger, rage, uncontrollable rage. They just start getting angry for frivolous things. So some people it's road rage. So do not suppress your anger. Your pain. Do not suppress your hurt. Don't escape into alcohol when somebody hurts you. That is a derivative that will still hurt you on the long run. Don't escape into drugs. Don't escape into walk. I want to walk. I want to, blanket off my mind. Don't escape into sex. Stop using that. Allow yourself to feel. Because you are human. You are a human being. Allow yourself to feel. Stop masking your pain. You are a human being. Seek help. Seek help. If you're in pain, seek help. Ask for it. It's not shame to be in therapy. Therapy is going to help you. See the way I share my story shamelessly. Do you know why I can share it? Because I am not healed from my pain. I am healed from those terrible relationships. Zainab said, what's the maximum time to grieve? There's no maximum time. It is, you will know in your heart that, okay, I think I'm getting better now. Okay, I think it's time to get up. But you need to grieve. You need to grieve, And then when you grieve, you need to heal. That's another thing. You need to heal. You need to heal. A lot of people grieve, they don't heal. You grieve, then you get up and go again. The thing will still happen again. It's going to happen again. Which is why you need to heal. Especially when it comes to relationships. Somebody broke your heart. Somebody, I tell people, the more heartbreak you have, the more weakened you become emotionally. the more weak you become emotionally. The more weak you become. So, excuse me. But therapy can help you change the kind of people you are choosing. That's the good part of therapy. It can help you change the kind of people you're interested in, the kind of people that are interested in you, the kind of people that are coming to you, the kind of people that you find fascinating. That's what happened. That's my story. Your life will change. The people that you are loving will change. The kind of people that will be interested in you will change. The kind of people that you will be interested in will change. You realize that, because what's going to happen when you go through therapy after a broken relationship is that after you heal, your self-esteem will come up. Your self-confidence will come up. And then when your level of self-esteem rises, you realize that I was telling somebody yesterday, there are some people that I have dated in the past that I'm like, oh my God, how? Like, if I think about it, I'm like, Jesus, how? Why am I feeling like that? Because I am no longer that person that used to date those people. I'm no longer that person that found those kind of people fascinating. Now, I'm like this, I'm here, and they are still like this, emotionally. So I look back and be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's how. What changed? Therapy. Self-esteem. I started having self-worth. I tell people, the self-worth I have now, after having 2 kids for 2 different men, is much more higher than back then, before I got married the first time. That's why you can see me talk like this. You know that in this country that we are in, Nigeria, somebody like me, somebody who has my type of story, what do? They hide. They don't share it. 15 abortions, 14 heartbreak, you be a share me. Hey, yeah. But I can share it now. You know why? Because my identity is not tied to that. I realize who I am. I realize the power in my pain, which is what I'm doing now. I'm using that to help other people heal. It's a good thing. Even though a lot of people are not enlightened enough to know that, it's okay. As long as I know what I'm doing. So look at it, Zainab. That is what changed. It's still the same me. Same me that was dating a guy then, that the guy would be saying, get out. I'll be begging him, please, don't do this, I beg you. Same me. But what changed now? Self-worth, self-esteem. I realized that even though marriage is good, marriage is not my life. It's not the ultimate. I can't live without it. You get, unlike before, where I saw marriage as the all of my life. Without it, I'm nothing. I realized that I am a lot without any man. I realized that I know what I can give to a man, the value I have. Me and my husband were talking some days ago, and somebody told him something. So he was telling me that, can you imagine that there's a lady that liked him in the past, and now she's like telling somebody else who now told him that wow, see, we Teddy can't marry. They say we don't born two children. Oh, hey, see me, we are never born shishi. And this guy not like me. Like, what is it? What's the big deal? What does she have? And I was laughing when and Teddy was like, what she doesn't know, what a lot of them don't know, is the value that you carry. And I was like, yeah, I was laughing. But I know it. You didn't even need to tell me. I know. This is what I want to help, especially women, a lot of women achieve. You carry a lot of value. But nobody will be able to recognize it. Because you yourself, you don't recognize it. Because you yourself, you see yourself as somebody in pain. You see yourself below who you really are. So men are going to use you like this for football. They'll keep walking all over you because they know that. They know how low your self-esteem is. They know that she's not going to leave this one. You're not going to leave. She will just be threatening me. She'll be shouting and shouting. She won't leave. Even though she knows I have other girls. Even though she knows I'm married. Even though she knows that I don't have plans for her. But she's just content with what we have. Because she would rather have me than have nothing. And that's where a lot of people got it wrong. Somebody asked me the other day that how long, because I used to say I stayed off relationship for a while, and she asked me for how long, and it was about 3 years. Nobody, no man, no sex, nothing. Why? Because I was working on myself. I knew at the time that I was very vulnerable. I would just go and pick one rubbish man because I was lonely. And they will still use me and break my heart again. I knew that at the time. So I had to hold myself. The problem is that a lot of people cannot stay without a man. It's a problem. If you cannot be alone for a while, something is wrong. Come to therapy, sign up for the healing school. If you cannot stay, you are single, but you always you just have to be in a relationship, or else you start feeling like something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is actually wrong with you. And please sign up for the healing school. It will help you. Because, like I used to say, I realized at a point in my life that I had relationship addiction. So when you have an addiction, how do you cure it? Number one is to cut it or starve it. You have to starve that addiction. That's what I did. That's why for 3 years, you think I didn't have advances in those 3 years? You think I wasn't lonely? You think I didn't want to have sex? I don't understand it when people tell me that I've not had sex in 1 year, I've not had sex in 6 years, I can't, no, I beg, I can't, it's too much, I can't deal. I don't understand it. Because if you cannot control your urge, something is wrong. People will use it against you. It will mislead you. If you cannot control your sexual urge, it will mislead you. It will help you and make you make terrible choices. You will be in soup, deep soup. You should be able to control yourself. If you can't control yourself, sign up for the healing school. Because there's a disorder. You have a disorder that needs to be corrected by therapy. As a man and as a woman, if you cannot control your sexual urge, if you must have sex, you have to. No, I can't do. I can't be alone. Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. You have a distorted identity of yourself. You have identity crisis. You have tied your identity to sex, to relationship. So we cannot even see the value you carry. We cannot see your strength. We cannot see, we can't see you shine. You can't shine. Because all you are waiting for is somebody to come and help me. Somebody, that's what you count as shine. Marriage is good. I'm married now. It's very good. But it's not the ultimate. Who are you? It starts with who. Who are you first? What are your values? What do you stand for? And no matter how you have been raised, no matter how you have been programmed, you can't change it. You can't change it. You can't change it. There's no excuse. This is how I am. Me like this. I beg, Lara. I don't know you how you people used to do it to me. I have to have a man, no. I have to have a woman, no. I have to have sex. So these are the kind of men I like. Lara, whoa. If it's not, doesn't. Somebody told me that the kind of guy she likes, somebody that gives attitude, and I'm like, said, let him be using me to do shakara. It's low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. You have the innate desire to be in a toxic relationship. You will not like people that respect you. You say, I'm not just attracted to him. He's boring. There's something about you that's making you like people that will hurt you, people that will break your heart. I also told one person, I realized that she keeps liking the same set of people. And I told her, write down what they have, their characteristics, profile them. And she sees that what qualifies or is similar to all of them. They are very domineering, they are very masculine, they are very disrespectful, they are very, they like to look down on people. Those are the kind of men she likes. Sad. Of course, that kind of person will hurt you. And it's possible that is the image of your father or the image of your abuser. I know one person who came to the healing school and discovered at the healing school that she married a mirror of an abuser. Like, that was the first time in my therapy years. That was like 3 years ago. In all my years of therapy, that's the first time I was hearing that. And I was like, wow. She said there was somebody who abused her when she was younger for a long time. It was her stepbrother, And she didn't even know. She said she just, now sex abuse, sexual abuse gets you, your life, you just be having stupid and nonsense relationships. You won't even know that that's what is responsible for it. Until, of course, she now had she got married and got divorced, and she couldn't heal. So she came to the healing school. And it was at the healing school she realized that she had married somebody who had the profile of her abuser. She was just abused when she was a young child. But do you know what has happened to her? The profile or the image of her abuser is who she sees and knows. That's who she thinks is good for her. Those are the people she attracts. Those are the people she chooses. The person that abused her, the profile of that person. As in this day, the realization got her. She was screaming, she was crying. It was a very emotional moment. So can you see, if she didn't come for therapy, she won't even know. So if she married and divorced the profile of her abuser, then how does she move on from there? One, realization is powerful. Knowledge is powerful. So she knows that, oh my God, this is the kind of person I've always been attracted to, because this kind of person abused me when I was younger. So number one, that's where healing starts. Understanding realization. That's where healing starts. One. Then two, she has to heal from the damage of that abuser and all the terrible relationships that she has had. That's two. Then number three, because of the healing, the kind of people she now loves and chooses will be totally different. The kind of people that comes around her will be entirely different. So I just look at people when they say, oh, the kind of people I've been dating, I don't like them. Maybe let me change my church. Let me change my environment. Let me start living in Lekki. I know somebody who moved from Ibadan to Lekki. She was like that she knows that the guys will be better there. She has seen them. They're not all those like Raz Ibadan guys. I wasn't surprised when she called me crying and said, she was telling me the person who broke her heart. And by the time we profile them, it's still the same type of person that she has been dating from Ibadan. It's not about the men or the women. It's about you. It's about your own choice, who you choose, who you say yes to, or who you ask out. There's a reason why these are the type of people you like. It's not just like me, I just like fair people. I just like people that are this one. I just like people. No. Those are the things that we'll do for you at the healing school. We are going to dig deep into why do you like this kind of people? Why is it that it's this set of people only that you choose? Why? And then we'll help you change your life. You'll see your life will change, your relationships will change, the kind of people you like will change, the kind of people you date will change, the kind of people you marry will change. If not, I tell people, especially divorcees, if you have divorced again, there is the tendency that if you have divorced before, there is a higher tendency that you will divorce again. People don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. I know people that have been married twice, three times. And they tell me this thing. Women, I know them. They tell me. I know men too. You're so right. If you have been divorced once, there's a tendency that you'll be divorced again. You know why? The reason is because you have not addressed the reason why you were divorced the first time. You are trading blames. No, it's because my husband wasn't working. It's because I chose somebody that he wasn't contributing and I liked him. I should have chased him away. It's a lie. You will still choose somebody again. That may not be exactly the last person, but the person will have something again that will make you divorce again. This is why I always preach healing after divorce. If you don't go through healing, you're going to repeat your pattern. And this is not just divorce, even rape, even sexual abuse, even physical abuse. If you don't heal from it, you will attract it again. You realize that they keep beating you in your relationships. You realize that they keep raping you. And you'll be wondering, why? Did I offend anybody? Who did I offend? Let me give you an example of somebody who who I met at the healing school. Then we used to call it the healing boot camp because it was a physical class. And I realized that she came to the class, she was crying so hard. Like in fact, by the time I said, why are you here? She was just crying. Eventually, she was able to narrate her story. She said that her dad used to beat them. She said they had 9 girls and 1 boy. The boy was the first child, and then the other 9 girls were younger ones. She said her dad was so abusive. He would beat her mom so bad that she would end up in the hospital. He would beat all the girls too. Then the boy still started joining his dad. Both of them would beat the girls, beat their mom. He said the boy too beats his mom sometimes, and that. So she was so angry. She hated men because of that. So she said, after a while, she, of course, you grew up in that kind of, you don't want to date. Then eventually, she said there's a way she worded it in her testimony, that, you shall still want to fall in love, you shall still crave love. And so she ended up choosing people like that they would either beat her or she would be the one that would beat them. It's either sometimes in her relationships, she was being abused, then sometimes she was also the abuser. In a relationship, she'll be the one that will be abusing the guy, throwing knife at the guy, using hot iron to threaten the guy. That was the first time in my life that somebody would tell me that after a while she stopped dating men and started dating women. That was the first time I heard it. She said, I stopped dating men and started dating women. In fact, this lady, I've shared her story a lot of times. She said that she had a group online, I think on Facebook, called Men As Come, because she hated men a lot. And she had over 10,000 members. Bad news spread fast. People like to hear bad news a lot. And it was at the therapy when she came that she realized, that was why she was crying so much. She realized that no, it was not about men. It was about her dad. Because that was who raised her. that was what she knew as love. Even though she hated it, she would somehow attract people like that, like her dad. And so, of course, when they start their rubbish, she breaks up with them. And, the cycle continues. And then she says, men has come. And she realizes that until she deals with her dad, until she deals from the hurt from her dad, until she heals from it, she's just going to keep choosing men like that. So she was like, how do I go back and tell these people that this was my own problem, which made it be different from their own problem? That's why I always say you have to be careful who you listen to online, because a lot of people are coming from pain, so they are spreading pain. You get what I mean? So anyways, this was what happened to her, and of course she came for the healing boot camp. Then she's healed now. She has married, she's happy. At least that's what she tells me. You get? So if you think that you are just going to continue like this, then you are not ready to change your life. If you are ready to change your life, sign up for therapy. Sign up for the healing school. It's starting from July 3rd to August 27th. It's a group class, meaning that every Sunday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, we all gather on Zoom, to do the group session. So if you're interested, early bird for that is 190,000 naira, which ends on June 14th. I think that's next week, Wednesday. After that, it goes back to 220,000, the original price. If you want to join, send me a DM. Send me a DM. So I think I've shared enough for the day. Does anybody have any question? There's something you want to know, there's an information you want to know from me, or you quickly want me to help you answer a question in your life, something about your life issues, if you're interested, I'm here waiting for you. Does anybody have any question? Wait, let me give you 2 minutes. Okay, Imo Williams Limited says, I have a question. Please go ahead. I'm waiting. What's your question, Imo? What's your question? I'm waiting for Imo's question. So, and anybody else too, if you have a question, please ask away. I would answer your question to the best of my ability. So, I feel tired regularly. Is this a trauma response? Tired from what? Are you talking about physical? Is it physical tiredness? Is it mental? Or is emotional? There's a difference in all of this tiredness. If it is physical, it means that, you don't want to do anything physically, like you feel it physically that I'm tired, my leg is hurting, my hand. Or is it mental, that you don't want to do any work, you don't want to do anything that involves thinking, you're tired. Or emotionally, you don't even like thinking anything that has to do with emotions. You just shut down. You just get tired. So answer me, Imo. I'm waiting, so that I'll know, the answer to give. Yeah, so just tired generally, emotionally and physically. It's possible that is a result of trauma. It can even be a sign of depression. So, it's possible. It's highly possible. Has anything happened to you recently, Imo, that you think is have you gone through a major life issue recently? Okay, so I'm coming back to Imo, but let me answer Chizi's question. Chizi says, my question is, does being an apologetic partner that is always ready to make peace regardless of who is at fault? Or is it a trauma response? Yes. Yes, cheesy. When you are always the one apologizing all the time, even when you are wrong, even when you are right, and the reason why you are apologizing, because you don't want to lose the person. That's why. You don't want the relationship to go away. Even if you know that this person is taking advantage, this person is affecting my dignity, but you keep apologizing because you want the relationship to stay. You have self-esteem issues. Sign up for therapy. So Imo says, I'm always thinking, always having ideas, always working. But when it comes to taking action, I feel tired. Yeah, I just walked away from my whole family. Oh my goodness. Imo, why don't you sign up for the healing school? Because, so, walking away from your whole family is a life change. It's a major life event. Major. And so that can cause you to react this way. You're just tired. You don't want to think. You don't want to feel. What your body and your mind is doing is that your mind does not want to go back to deal with that pain. So it shuts down your body and makes you feel tired. It shuts down, you just shut down. Because your brain or your mind is trying to protect you from going there, because it's going to cause pain when you think about it, because that's a very, very major life decision, walking away from your whole family. So, and this can scar you forever and more. It doesn't go away with time. People say time heals wounds. It's not true. It's not true. Time does not heal wounds. Time covers wounds. Time covers wounds. At a point, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It's going to, it's going to be revisited. So, please, if you can anymore, sign up for the healing school. Or if the healing school can be private or group, anyone that you're interested in, send a DM to find out about it. It's something you need to deal with it. You need to go there. You don't want to go there. Your mind does not want to go there. That's why it shuts down. And so it shuts your body down. It shuts your mind, shuts your body, so that's why you feel tired easily. Please sign up for therapy so that you can process it and deal with it. Yes, please send a DM me more. I would appreciate it. You need to process it and deal with it and then heal from it. This kind of thing is something that scars somebody forever. So, any other question? Anybody before I go to lay down for the night? Anybody has any question? Anybody? I'm waiting. I still have like 7 more minutes. So any question, please ask away. Ask away. Ask away. Talk to me. Lara, why am I going through this? Why is this my life? Why is this happening to me? Ask away. When you go through a major life issue, it's possible that you don't have appetite for life. Okay, Boss Lady NA2 says we'll watch the replay. Please do watch the replay. It's going to help you. Tonight's live video is packed with a lot of life lessons. So when you go through a major life issue, it's going to cause you to you can lose appetite for the things that you like to do. You can lose appetite you can lose zest for life. You understand? People will be saying, it's in now, bro, what did happen? Guy, girl, you're not, like before, what did they saw? Yeah. You can be sinking into depression and you will not even know. You think, oh no, I'm just trying to take it easy. No. Something is happening to you. And you need to catch yourself, before it goes deep, that it becomes too deep for you to get out. So if this is you, send a DM, sign up for the healing school. That's the best. Everybody's still, I always tell you, the healing school is the foundational therapy session for anyone that I always recommend. That's the if you want to heal, from plenty things. You want to go through therapy for anxiety, for depression, for heartbreak, for grief, for abuse. The healing school is your best bet. Just sign up straight. And you can sign up for the group session or the private session that is one-on-one with me. If it is virtual, it's an 8-week class, that happens on Zoom. If it is physical, it can be done for 2 days. We call it the healing boot camp. We can do it for 2 days for you in our office in Lagos, Magodo, Lagos mainland. It's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for 2 days. Your life will change. It's like, how they used to do deliverance service in church. It's intensive therapy. Intensive. Your life will... It's like I just did it recently for a couple, and the guy is still telling me it's about a month now. The husband is like, it's like the old man is gone. I don't even know who that is. I can't even relate to those things I used to do anymore. And it's just 1 month after. That's what therapy does to you. So if you're interested in a group healing school, it's starting from July 3rd and ends at August 27th. The early bird offer is 190,000 naira. That's $380, I think, and that's gonna end on June 14th, which is next Wednesday. But after that, it goes to 220,000 naira, which is, I think, $440. I think so. Yes. So thank you everybody for joining. If you're just joining, please watch the replay. There's a lot of life lessons, life lessons in this free therapy session that I've just done this evening. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. See you later on Monday. I'm going to do another live next week, Monday to Friday.